Hey guys, welcome back. If you are new to my channel, my name is Julie and I post videos focused on affordable drugstore makeup. So today I am doing a foundation review and wear test on the new e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. They have so many different shades in this. I think there's like 33 or 36 different shades, so they have a ton of different shades. I was kind of debating between light neutral and medium neutral, and since I have a little bit of a tan, I was like, okay, let's just get medium neutral and see how it goes. So I got 31 medium neutral. Putting it there on the back of my hand, you can tell that this foundation is like a little bit thicker. This foundation is only $8. I think e.l.f. is the only place where you can get this currently. I haven't seen this anywhere else in store. And that is one thing about e.l.f., at least that I have noticed recently. A lot of their new releases, they don't come out in stores. They just have it on their website first. So, but I did order it on, I think, a Saturday, and I got it by Thursday of the next week. So the shipping was fairly fast. This foundation is a medium to full coverage foundation. It's definitely more full coverage than a lot of other new foundations that have been released over the past few years. Just using a dampened makeup sponge. This is the Wet n Wild makeup sponge to blend this foundation out. I haven't tried to use it with a makeup brush. I don't usually apply my foundations with a brush. I usually just use a makeup sponge, so not sure exactly how it performs with a brush, but this is pretty full coverage, so I think a sponge would be the most ideal way to apply it. As you can see, it's like a little dark, but I feel like once I blend it down my neck, it blends out pretty good. But I'm thinking of going back on e.l.f.'s website and ordering a few different lighter shades of this. So like once I lose my tan, you know, I'll have some shades that I can use, and then I can also use it to mix with this foundation, the shade that I have. I was surprised the first time that I used it. I was expecting this foundation to be a little bit more matte than what it is. My skin type is normal, slightly oily. Like right now in the summer, my skin's slightly oily. I find in the winter I'm slightly dry, but I hope you can see like on camera like how my skin looks fairly luminous with this foundation. It's not quite as luminous as some of my other foundations, like the Maybelline 24-Hour Skin Tint or the L'Oreal Serum Foundation, but it's more luminous, I think, than like my Believe Beauty foundation. So that's what it looks like here once I have it blended out. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply my concealer, and I'm just using the Maybelline Superstay Activewear Concealer. And I did film an eyeshadow tutorial on this eye look. That video won't be up until later this week. The first couple of days whenever I was testing out this foundation, I was using the L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear powder to set my foundation, to set this foundation. And I found that for me, when I used this powder, that by the end of the day, I was super oily and I had to touch up like halfway through the day because that dewiness was really starting to show through on this foundation. But yesterday I used the Rimmel Stay Matte. With that powder, it kept this foundation looking not too overly dewy. So I'm going to use the Rimmel Stay Matte today. I'm just using this large Real Techniques powder brush to set this foundation with this powder. And I know at first this is going to look more matte, but like I said, throughout the day, like once this kind of settles, it looks much better for me to set it with like a matte powder. Like I did watch a couple of other people's review on this foundation. Like I watched Casey Holmes' review, and I know that she has really oily skin, and this foundation did get really like more oily on her throughout the day, and she did have issues with it breaking down like around like her jawline and chin. But other people that I watched that have more like normal to dry skin, they didn't seem to have that issue. So I think maybe if you're, you know, a little bit more oily, just set it with a more mattifying powder. And then I'm just going to set my under eye concealer with a little bit of this powder as well. So this is what it looks like once you set it with the powder and everything. Like it looks really nice. really full coverage, really pretty. And then I'm going to set my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. Okay, so it is, whoops, I forgot I have my phone charging. It is currently 12:36 p.m. I don't know if you can really see there with that picture of me and Josh, but I will be back in about 5 hours to do an update, just share with you guys like how this foundation is wearing and everything. And I did get a late start to the day, so I'm going to try to stay up as late as I can to do at least an 8 to possibly 10 hour wear test on this. So we'll just see how late I end up staying up. So my outfit has changed because I got back from the pool. I went to my friend's pool and it is now 5:27 p.m. So it hasn't been quite 5 hours later, but pretty close. I did touch up my lipstick, but like as you can see, like with this foundation, like look at how much more dewy this foundation is on me from earlier. So, you know, if you have oily skin, it's definitely going to look a bit more glowy and dewy throughout the day. Now, if I had just stayed inside and I didn't go to the pool, I don't think that like my skin would be quite as oily looking, but you know, I was outside in the sun, but I did get into the pool. I didn't get under the water or anything like that, but I feel like, you know, some of the foundation has kind of worn off, or maybe that's just like my bronzer and stuff, you know, kind of getting a little messed up. And I did have like my sunglasses on, so it kind of wore off the foundation there on the sides of my nose. So this foundation definitely is not as long wearing as Revlon ColorStay, but for being out in the heat, in the pool and everything, it's still holding up pretty good. I'm just going to kind of touch it up just to show you guys like what it would look like if you were to touch it up with a powder. Like if you're not, you know, if you're more of a dry skin type, it's probably going to hold up a little bit better on your skin. It's just like my struggle. I mean, that is why Revlon ColorStay is just like holy grail for me. But see, like after I set it with that powder, like just touched it up, it already looks so much better. So I will come back a little bit later tonight before I go to bed and do a final check-in update. So it is 5:30. Okay, I am back and it is 10:32 p.m. and I am so tired. I was sitting over here editing videos that I had filmed today and I was getting so sleepy. So I'm like, let's go ahead and do this last check-in. I feel like you can just tell from my eyes that I look tired. But I don't really feel like too much has changed since my check-in 5 hours ago. But I do feel like this foundation has kind of worn off like this backside of my face here, and especially like down here along the jawline. There is a gnat flying around. It just kind of wore off the areas like where I touch my face a little bit more, like so like here and also kind of on my nose. I do think that touching it up with that setting powder did kind of help to, you know, keep that dewiness at bay, you know, before this check-in. But I mean, it still looks, you know, fairly dewy and everything. So I do like this foundation. I just don't think that for me, this is going to be an extremely long wearing foundation like Revlon ColorStay. So if you find that you have a skin type similar to mine where you're more normal, slightly oily, then, you know, this might be a foundation that you would wear on days when you don't need your foundation to last super, super long. I mean, I still don't think that this looks terrible, but if I was planning on wearing my foundation for over 10 hours and wanting it to look really good, I probably wouldn't select this foundation to wear. I would give it an 8 out of 10 star rating. It's not terrible, but it's not like the best foundation that I've ever used. But like I said, it might just depend on your skin type. So I hope that you guys did enjoy this review video on the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. If you did enjoy this, give this video a thumbs up. And I apologize for the gnat. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art.